Now this one, 2023 is shaping up to be a very colorful year for kitchens. We are starting to move not necessarily completely away from white, but there are more opportunities for some nice saturation and hue to come upstairs into the place that you cook your food. And I think that's a lot of fun. Homesandgardens.com has an article about the 6 colors we should consider for 2023. These are the colors this year that we need to look forward to for kitchens, both cabinets, but also wall colors as well. So it's just the main predominant color within your kitchen one way or another. I do have some thoughts with some of these choices, especially the examples they give, but let's get into it right away. So the first one is yellow for a true heritage feel. Now, when I first think of yellow kitchens, it really kind of puts me off a little bit. My brain immediately goes to bright, obnoxious highlighter yellow. Probably not the best choice for kitchens, mainly because of the fact that, yes, they're energetic and fun, but a bright yellow like that can really have an impact on the color cast in the space. It might make your food look a bit weird. All this yellow is bouncing off onto your cooking surfaces, which could kind of weird you out. So that was a bit troubling to me. But the example that they give here is a very mellow yellow. It almost has like this yellow squash type of coloration. But what's also nice too is the cabinets that are painted with the yellow, it's not taking up a ton of space visually. You have your white walls, the white ceilings, even the panels next to the cabinets, they're more of a grayy, sort of beigey color. And then you just have enough of that mellow yellow peeking through a little bit. Colors like Hawthorne Yellow, one of my favorites by Benjamin Moore, that is kind of in that same sort of ballpark, but probably a little more saturated than I would go for a kitchen cabinet specifically. But if we're talking something like this that is a little more muted and softened and a bit almost buttery, creamy, beigey, then that's a yellow that I can get behind. What do you think of yellow in the kitchen? Let me know down below. I find it's a love-hate thing for most people. Some people are really into it because it's sunny and lively and it makes you cheerful. Other people are just grossed out by it. I don't know. So speaking of vibrant colors, we're going from yellow kitchens to red kitchens. And this is one that's puzzling me a little bit as well because I do find red to be a very difficult color to use on kitchen cabinets specifically, which in this example, they are. Now, it must be noted, they're not going for like blood red or something really just dynamic, kind of like this microphone cable I have here. Like that's a bit too much. Of course, because of the colors of the year that have been coming out in 2023, we have these sort of muddy terracotta colors, although this one's a bit pinky. Not really my cup of tea. To be honest, I much prefer the second example they give with red in this very rustic cottage, I'm guessing. A little more terracotta and fiery and orange rather than that sort of pinky rosy coloration. I just think that red is extremely stylized of a choice. Very, very personal, much more so than a navy blue or even a forest green. Those are dark colors that are a lot more common just because they seem to fit better. This one makes a huge statement, and I'm not necessarily on board with it. Number 3 is two-tone, and two-tone's been around for a while now, whether it's upper and lower cabinets or just cabinets and then an island color. Although what I will say is it just gives you an option to not have to paint everything white. You can go white uppers and then this sort of denim kind of blue color on the bottom. Oftentimes when someone's looking to have 2 different colors on their upper and lower cabinets and do that two-tone look, there's a lot of paint companies that have their color chips set up so that you have your darker shades on the bottom and then your lighter colors, your lighter tints at the top. So you can pick one that you like a lot and then go up or down that color chip, at least 2 or 3 different shades. And that can give you a very easy pairing, lighter or darker. So that's one way of doing it. I think that's kind of what they did here. Although the white seems like it has maybe a touch of like a purple undertone rather than a straight up blue, but they are definitely adjacent. They're at least neighbors on the color wheel, which is important, I think. Two-tone, still a thing. It's a really easy way to add dimension to your look of your kitchen. It's not very one note at that point, even though a lot of people just default to it without really thinking, but I'm still for it. It's great. Now this one, I don't know why I'm obsessed with pale greens these days on kitchen cabinets. I think it's such a classy look, and it's one of the paint colors on cabinets that I easily can justify going with golden hardware. Normally I try to stay away from the more yellowy gold handles and all that. It just looks so nice with sage green and these sort of pale pistachio colors. Really, really beautiful stuff. And what's awesome about it is it gives you the richness and the organic nature of a darker forest green, but it reintroduces some of that lightness that off-white cabinets give you, giving you this nice happy medium of fun yet still functional. So number 5 is pastel pink, and I don't really like this at all, to be honest. I understand there is some historical significance with pink as a color, but in the modern era, it's just kind of a juvenile color to me in the kitchen. It sort of feels a bit too glam, which I think is maybe suitable for more personal spaces like bedrooms and, sectioned off rooms. But the kitchen is kind of the hub of the home. So unless you're obsessed with it and you just will do it no matter what I say anyway, I would maybe advise against pink. Kind of like that red example we had earlier. Pink is really just light red at the end of the day when you think about it. I don't know. It's just not for me. Number 6 is an evolution, I guess, of navy blue, and that's blue black. So we're looking at a color that's so dark that it blurs the line between black and navy. So whether you're someone who appreciates navy blue but wants something even more dark and dramatic, or perhaps you like black paint colors on your cabinets but want to add a bit of coloration, that's where you can incorporate something like this. Navy 2.0. The one thing that I want to point out about this article, though, is they talk about later on how blue offers this emotional content that can be as nurturing or soothing as any green. It can be almost as good as green. So why not just go with green? What I want to take away from this example is when you're going with off blacks, essentially, you can really experiment with various different color hues. I'm a little more partial to a really dark black and green, but it's sort of a tomato situation, whether you enjoy blue or green or even dark purple, a bit more niche, but And then of course you can go with white kitchen cabinets like the ones we talked about in this video. Maybe not. I'm pretty surprised that white wasn't one of the options in this list because it's probably going to be the most popular choice still, unfortunately.